Good evening. Go ahead and get settled in, and we will be beginning our class shortly. How's everyone doing tonight? Go ahead and let me know anything and everything. Your writing, how your week is going. Let me know in the chat. As you know, we normally have a poll. This week we don't have a poll. But if you wanted to share something about your writing specifically, your writing journey, anything that you did lately, attended workshops, other workshops, or if you did any specific kind of writing, go ahead and let me know. Yeah, I totally get you, Jenny. It's end of the week, so I hope you get some rest during the weekend. We are going to begin our class. As you know, I am Phynne-Belle, and you are attending Get Inspired and Speak Up, which is basically a generative poetry prompt workshop. Apologies, let me mute for a while. Apologies. A poetry writing workshop where we focus on writing to prompts in a fashion that is quick and just basically free writing. And the difference of it, we try to treat it like it's a game. It's shorter period of time to write as opposed to having a prompt set up at the beginning of the session and then writing to it over a longer period of time. So I want to introduce it a little bit more. So for each of these sessions, I would like us to concentrate our energies on some very effective skills that do get us in the right into the thick of your writing. And so, first of all, remember that these could potentially be first drafts to your something that you may submit, something that you may consider having published, or something that you just may want to, just for the pleasure of it, continue working on. A single sustained piece that you're going to work on for the rest of the week, for the rest of the year. Sometimes some pieces could stretch over a number of years. I have known people who would start a poem, put it to bed for a while, pick it up after a few months, see that it's not quite ready, put it away for a little while, and then come back to it. And at the end of the year, they say, okay, I know what the ending to this is. I know what the body is going to be. So this may be the start of that. So first, you're going to be given the initial spark to your poem or your piece that you want to write tonight by way of 5 prompts in very quick succession. You're not going to be given a lot of time to write to them. So as soon as I give the prompt and post it in the chat, you will have about 4 minutes to complete it. Don't really worry about it. Write what comes to your mind. Don't do any editing. Next, like I just said, you're going to engage in what I like to call writing sprints. And this is where you free write, just free write, no editing for that short period of time. Finally, at the very end, if we have enough people in the class, or if we have anybody who's willing, and this part is completely optional, I'd like for everybody to come up to the mic and share their piece, should they wish to do so. So again, repeating that, what I'm going to do is present 5 rapid succession prompts that you will have a few minutes to write to. Remember that this is not the time to edit. You can go ahead and do that later. If you need any help on that after the session, I'm going to put my email in the chat if you don't already have it. And you can follow up with me over the week, over the next few weeks, if there's something that you would like help editing or you would like me to put my eyes on. So when we have completed the 5 prompts, if time allows at the very end, I do highly encourage you to come up to the mic and share that piece that you wrote here in class. This not only helps you to practice the skill of performing your piece out live in front of an audience, no matter how big or small, it also helps you go back to potentially refine the piece, to hear with your own ears the current poetic internal rhythm of the piece, the cadence, and the rhyme, if there's an internal rhyme. And you can request to read your work by clicking on the raised hand speak icon. So before we begin, we always begin the session by repeating to ourselves either out loud, or you could say it, quietly, or you could say it in your head, or you can mouth the words. And I know if you've been to this class before, you've probably done this a few times and maybe you're weary of it. Go ahead and allow yourself to do it. If you don't like that mantra, make one up of your own that just really bolsters your belief in yourself, that in your writing, and the fact that you're a poet and a writer. So I'd like you to say, I am a poet, I am a writer. And always remember that, no matter how challenging it is, no matter if there are naysayers, always remember that you are a writer, you're a poet. Please bear in mind that as a creative soul, we thrive on having feedback, encouragement from our peers. And that is by way of when we are listening, we want to be actively listening to the other poets who are in the room, whether it be in this space or we are in another space, either another online open mic, another workshop, or a live event. Be profuse in giving feedback by way of praise to the poet because they worked really hard on their craft. And their words deserve that kind of respect. So, if you haven't started a practice of that or you don't know how to, the best thing that you can do is repeat a line back to the poet. Remember it. You could write it down on a notepad. If you're in an online open mic, put it down on the chat if it's a line that you particularly found to be really delicious. Apologies, I don't know what's up with my dogs today. It's just really, we may have to pause for a little while here in the lesson. They're just really riled up. Okay, so next on my list, I'm sorry, I'm getting a little thrown off. So I would like you to leave any sort of judgment outside of this space. This is our sacred space to write. Please leave any judgment of anybody else's piece if they decide to share, but most of all, leave any judgment of your own writing outside the door. We don't want any inner critics. We don't want any inner editors to be, just muddling with our space where we are purely just writing for the joy of writing. Remember how amazing and powerful that your words are, and that to honor your piece that you're creating in all the stages of its creation. So before we officially begin, I invite you to take a deep breath in through your nose, hold it for 4 seconds, and then breathe it out slowly for 8 seconds through your mouth. So you're going to breathe in through your nose for 4 seconds, hold it for 6 seconds, and breathe it out slowly through your mouth for 8 seconds. Let us begin. 1 breath. You could close your eyes if you want to. So breathe in. Okay, let us begin. So we're going to go right into the prompts. If you have any questions at all, if you've never been here before, if you can't really hear my audio, just anything at all, please feel free to put that in the chat. So today's first prompt. What story begins to form in your mind? That's my question. What story begins to form in your mind when you hear the phrase, out of the blue, they emerged? What story begins to form in your mind when you hear the phrase, out of the blue, they emerged? Okay, go ahead and begin writing. You have 4 minutes to do so. We will move right into the next prompt after that. I will post it right in the chat. Start writing. We now have a little bit more than 1 minute left on our timer. So begin wrapping up whatever you're writing. Okay, your time is up. I hope you found that prompt to be really good and something that you can start a project on. If not, we have a few more to go. And if none of these prompts today appeal to you, I have a truckload of prompts from the past. So please do email me if you want any more of them. If you are just really a lover of generating your writing from a little nudge of a prompt, I also do have bi-monthly early morning writing sprints. They're basically silent writing sprints for 45 minutes. You can just sit there and choose which prompt or prompts that you want to write to. And if you want any more information on that, again, feel free to email me. So we're going to move right into our second prompt. And I would like you to write about discovering something that has been widely accepted to be true, but instead has found out to be a hoax. I want you to write about discovering something that has been widely accepted to be a truth, only to find that it is actually a hoax. Again, you have 4 minutes on the clock to write to this prompt. Please start now. Two and a half more minutes left on the timer. Okay, time is up on the second prompt. We are almost at the halfway point. Please do let me know in the chat if you have any questions whatsoever. I posted in the chat the link for the next class if you haven't already signed up for it. If you have signed up once, I believe, on the SocietyX site, I think you may or may not, depending on your options, receive a recurring reminder via email. But there is also an alternate way of signing up. Should you not be able to sign up through SocietyX, you could go through Eventbrite as well. And you'll notice that I also listed the class that is held on Sundays. If you want to kind of take the next step level and delve further into the prompt, that is what Fun Unlocks Creativity on Sundays is about. So check that. Feel free to check that out as well. So we're going to be doing prompt number 3. And that prompt is, you find out for the first time that you have a doppelganger or a twin. You find out for the first time that you have a doppelganger or a twin. But that turns out to be the least shocking part. This person is actually also living in your exact same existence, in the same plane or the same universe, not a parallel universe. And all the other people in your life know about the both of you. So please take the story from there. This one's a little bit more involved, and it does have subtle layers to it. So I'm going to give you a little bit longer to write to this one. We're going to call it about 8 minutes to write. So again, you find out for the first time that you have a doppelganger or a twin. But this turns out to be the least shocking part of the revelation. This person is also living in your exact same existence. And all the people who are in the periphery of your life know about both of you. Please take the story from here. You have 8 minutes to write to this one. It's a little bit of a longer time, double the time. And I'm going to begin the clock now and put that in the chat. Please begin. We are a little bit past the halfway mark with 3.5 minutes left on the timer. Okay, time is up. And before we move on to the fourth prompt, I wanted to present you with your optional homework. Um, as you may know, the homework is something that I assign in addition to the prompts. And like I said, it's optional. You can use it to further write on the prompts that you worked on today, or you can create something brand new. This is for your own enrichment. So a few sessions ago, we did a fairy tale remix. And so this is what we did. I wanted you to check out your favorite children's story from your local library, or pull one off your shelf that you already have, or look one up online if you need to. And out of the lines that you take from the tale, choose one tale. Take favorite lines or lines that jump out at you from the tale, either in the tale in its entirety or take a section of it if it's a longer story. And I want you to create a found poem. Now, basically, what a found poem is it's taking existing text and refashioning them to make a poem. So, say for example, the line was the prince put the shoe on Cinderella's foot, and you pulled that line. Um, Collect a few of those lines from the story and begin to patchwork them into a found poem. And to learn more about a found poem, I'm going to give you a few of the links to them to help you um, learn more about them if you've never done a found poem before. Remember, this is just for fun. Don't take it too seriously. Don't think that you have to perfect what it is. So that was actually the last assignment. And if you weren't here for the previous sessions, I just want you to either begin that or continue cultivating that and expanding on it. And I'm going to go ahead and put that in the chat, and then we will move on to our next prompt. Okay, so that brings us to prompt number 4. I would like you to create a journey for a soul character that passes through a light and then a dark realm. Create a journey for a soul character or protagonist or the main person, include a person. If you're doing a poem, that person could be you, that person could embody you, or it could embody um, somebody else that you had in mind. And I'd like that character to pass through a light and then a dark realm. Then I'd like you to do a little bit of a bonus if you have time, or use this bonus and do it at a later time. I'd like you to take it a little further and have that person take the trip back in reverse from the dark to the light realm. Create a journey for the soul character that passes through light and then a dark realm, and then take it a little further by having them take that trip in reverse. You have 4 minutes to write to that. Begin now, please. Wonderful. So we are now down to our last prompt of the evening. Again, please do let me know what you think of the prompts. If you need any additional help with them, if you have any questions about them. And remember, you can also contact me in between sessions through my email. I put it in the chat. It is t.dejesus.poet@outlook.com. So our final prompt of the evening, and then we will move on to the second section of our session. If you are wanting to, let me reiterate, if you're wanting to come up to the microphone and share something that you wrote tonight, you're welcome to do so. You'll notice on your screen here on Webinar Jam is the speak icon, which is represented by a raised hand. And so you can click on that and I will bring you on to the live feed. If you would like to just not do that during the first time, or you're not ready to jump in and share a piece, you're also welcome to continue writing for the remaining 15 minutes we have of the session. So you can just engage in some quiet writing time. I will be here in the background to answer any questions that you may have. So that being said, this is our final prompt of the evening. The final prompt is build a connection among these three words. I would like you to build a connection among the three words that I'm about to give you. The three words are multiple, agony, and redemption. I want you to build a connection among these three words: multiple, agony, and redemption. So stop for a moment to give a little thought to the connection. And then from that connection, I'd like you to build a story. Again, the words are multiple, agony, and redemption. Please take 5 minutes to write to that. And go ahead and put that in the chat. Please start now. Okay, so that is it for our prompts tonight. We now have a remaining 10 minutes left. If you would like to use this portion to jump on the mic and share something that you wrote today with the rest of the class, you are welcome to do so. This is a safe space for you to do that. If you are not sharing, then please do hang out to listen and to offer really kind and encouraging comments in the chat. If you opt not to do any of that, please do hang out and finish writing any of the pieces or all of the pieces that you began today, or concentrate on one that really spoke to you. So we have 10 minutes left, or 9 minutes left of this class. I will leave the room open until the hour, and then I just bid you guys good night right now and have a really good weekend. I will be closing the room after the 9 minutes elapse. Take care. Have a good evening, everyone. Take care.